Oh, hi there Aries, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your 2-week reading. So it's the 15th to the 31st of May 2020. So for the reading, guys, we're going to use a new deck that I've got actually. It just arrived about a few hours ago. The Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti and Barbara Moore. I'm really loving this deck. It's just really colourful. Not too keen on how he's drawn those faces. What he's done is he's taken from, he's my favourite sort of tarot artist, but what he's done is on his decks, his favourite decks I guess, he's taken his favourite images and kind of either recreated them and just kind of, you know, reimagined them or whatever it is into this deck. So a lot of the cards on this deck you'll know from the Gilded Tarot or the Tarot of Dreams or something like that. It's a beautiful deck, but the faces aren't that great, not very animated. Nevertheless, very colourful, and a lot of people were saying actually the cardstock on this wasn't very good. I actually think it's pretty damn good cardstock. It's a really, really nice deck. So we're going to use this one. We're going to, for your spiritual advice, use the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland, my favourite oracle deck. And finally, any clarification we need on the reading, we use the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot in a tin. Okay, this week we're going to do a 7-area reading for the next 2 weeks. We look at your next 2 weeks as a whole. We look at something unexpected that might arise. We look at how you can stay grounded and balanced over the next 2 weeks. We look at any important emotion that you'll feel over the next couple of weeks. Something that may inspire you over the next couple of weeks. How your spirit guides can advise you or what they're advising you of. And finally, how you can best support yourself over the next couple of weeks. Okay, with that being said, let's go on with the reading. Right, so we've got the cards down. Let's have a look at the reading then. So the next 2 weeks, the Emperor. I mean, you know, that's you, isn't it? Actually, that's your major arcana card. So the next 2 weeks, for me, with the Emperor energy, this is all about perhaps some of you guys are trying to restore some form of normality or balance or order to your life. Some of you guys may be building some form of a structure, or maybe you're putting a few rules and regulations in place with that Emperor. And I say that it's you because Aries, this is your major arcana. So that's basically you on the card there with the Emperor energy. You may be establishing some rules, some boundaries over the next couple of weeks with the Emperor energy showing here. The Emperor card is all about structure and balance and stability within the tarot. So some of you guys may be focusing on how you can build that within the next couple of weeks with the Emperor energy showing here. The Emperor is all about taking ownership, taking charge, being in charge, being a leader, asserting oneself with the Emperor energy, and also making some very big decisions. So it may be the next couple of weeks sees Aries very much on the front line of perhaps trying to establish a new order, or perhaps you're trying to build some form of stability here over the next couple of weeks. So let's have a look at what you can expect, or something unexpected that will arise or may arise over the next couple of weeks. Oh, wow. Well, that's a card for it, isn't it? The Tower, which is really interesting. A sudden, unexpected change. You know, I don't always want to read the Tower as kind of this doom and gloom card. Because I think that the Tower, actually, this is ruled by you as well. 2 Aries cards. The Tower rules Scorpio and Aries energy. It's ruled by Mars, isn't it? The planet of war and, you know, war and chaos and arguments and that type of thing. So, I mean, this could be you, Aries, over the next couple of weeks. Maybe you're going to have an unexpected blowout. I mean, it would make sense, wouldn't it, if the next 2 weeks involves Aries being the Emperor and trying to establish order within your life, or establish some form of new structure with the Emperor energy, Aries, then it would make sense that perhaps unexpectedly some of you guys are actually clearing a few things out. You might be getting rid of a few things with the Tower energy showing here. You may be getting rid of a few things that you never thought you got rid of. Depending on what that is. For some of you guys, it could be a relationship. Maybe some of you guys are forming some new boundaries here with the Emperor energy, and in order to do that, it's kind of like out with the old, so needing to kind of just get rid. And even though whoever the recipient is off that Tower, the person falling here, may be feeling quite vulnerable, they're naked, so they didn't even have time to dress. This probably isn't you. If this is you having a clear out over the next couple of weeks, Aries, then whoever it is that's leaving your life wasn't expected it, because they didn't have time to They didn't have time to get dressed, so they'd become very complacent probably in the situation. So it may be a case of that over the next couple of weeks, in order to kind of start defining some new rules and new structures and new boundaries, you have to really get rid of things that no longer serve you with the Tower. Alternatively, if this isn't you doing this, then and something unexpected coming in with the Tower, could be anything. As I say, I don't always read the Tower as chaos. I really don't, and I don't think we need to always read this card in this way. You know, sometimes the Tower is something, I mean, like for example, I had the other day the Tower come up for me for the day, and it so happened that in the evening time I was making some dinner and I dropped a glass, not a glass, I was carrying too many things. I was being really stupid actually, and I just dropped this plate and it all smashed and everything. I remember it was saying to me that something surprising would happen that would kind of like shock me through the day, and it was that. It was something as small as that. So when you get major arcanas, they're not always, I mean, even though they're big energies, they're not, I mean, the lesson that I learned through that was to be careful and not to think that I can carry food out of the oven and then try and get a plate at the same time and knives and forks at the same time. It was just, I was learning that really I need to be far more kind of careful and responsible when I'm doing certain things, because accidents can happen when you're not responsible. So that you know, if anything, majors are there to teach us lessons, big or small. So the Tower doesn't always have to be something kind of life-shattering or anything like that, but it is certainly a card that talks about something unexpected and surprising happening that can probably throw you off your guard a little bit, but then afterwards there's a really good lesson to learn from that. How can you stay grounded and balanced over the next couple of weeks? Well, the Hierophant, I think you've just got to have faith with the Hierophant. You've just got to have faith. The Hierophant is all about having faith and having trust in a higher power. And I think that I think that in terms of that Tower, I mean, you've already got 3 major cards, which to me, Aries, says something major is happening and it's out of your control as well, looking at the cards, looking at the way it looks already. So I would say over the next 2 weeks, something out of your control is probably going to happen here. You have no control over it. I mean, all I can say is that with the Emperor being the next couple of weeks, this is your card. So this is all about you taking control of your life with the Emperor energy. But it might be as you're starting to take control of something here, if this is out of your control, if what's unexpected is the Tower, is that suddenly something comes in that throws you off your game here, it may be with the Hierophant, how you stay grounded and balanced is just by having faith that everything's going to be fine. If this is you with the Tower casting out what is no longer needed so that you can start building a new structure here with the Emperor energy for yourself, you can start re-establishing some order within your life, then again, the same thing, to stay grounded and balanced, because whatever it is that's here, it feels a little bit scary to me. It feels like it's something that isn't, it feels like it's it's not an evil thing, but if you felt that it was an evil thing, it would be a necessary evil to happen. It's not evil though. It just feels like something has to happen with Aries. You have to do something. It's almost like you've got no choice in the next couple of weeks. And whatever this thing is bound to kind of throw everything out into, you know, into a bit of chaos. But I think with the Hierophant being the reassuring card here, how you stay grounded and balanced is by having faith in a higher force, and also just by having faith and belief that everything is going to be okay. An important emotion for you to feel over the next 2 weeks is the 5 of Wands energy. So anger and anxiety, that's important for you to feel, okay? I'm going to just clarify why it's important for you to feel this thing, okay? So let me have a look here. Oh, the cards are here. So why is it important for Aries to feel the 5 of Wands? Funnily enough, is that your card there? No, it's not. It's Leo, isn't it? 5 of Wands. Why is it important for Aries to feel the 5 of... Oh, those two. Wow, you got the Hierophant flicking out there. And the 2 of Wands reversed. And the Hierophant here. I think that because some of you guys are stuck at a crossroads. And now it's time to unlock the key. Because the Hierophant also means to unlock the key. Now it's time to open things up. You've been stuck at a crossroads and now it's time to unlock the key, with the Hierophant energy showing there, okay? And I think it's important, but it's saying that it's the important emotion that you're going to feel is the 5 of Wands, frustration, anger, anxiety. That's the important emotion. But there's always a reason why something is important to feel. And the reason that this is important for you to feel is because some of you guys have been stuck at a crossroads here. Some of you guys might have been stuck at a crossroads in a marriage, for example, with the Hierophant energy. The Hierophant is a marriage card. So some of you may have been stuck at a crossroads in a marriage, Aries. Some of you guys have been stuck at crossroads with the Two of Wands energy, and you may need some leadership, you may need some counseling, you may need some advice, you may need some answers with the Hierophant energy. Some of you have been stuck at a crossroads, and now it's time to open up the key. Now it's time to unlock the thing that's stopping you from moving forward. So I actually feel that with the Five of Wands being the important emotion that you feel over the next couple of weeks, Aries, I think it's an important emotion because I think it's going to propel you to do something about this situation. So usually when we're feeling really angry and anxious and tired and fed up with the Five of Wands energy, you know, it's always that emotion that, you know, it's not quite Ten of Swords rock bottom, but sometimes this energy of the Five of Wands, if you're feeling it to such a, you know, such a degree, sometimes this literally forces us to seek the answers. Some of you guys have been at a crossroads for quite some time, sorry, and it's time probably with the Hierophant also to seek some answers on that and how you kind of alleviate yourself off that. Some of you guys have been refusing to make a decision, that type of thing, and it's time to now with the Hierophant energy either seek answers or understand what's stopping you from moving forward. What will inspire you over the next couple of weeks, Aries? Well, this could be you, King of Wands energy. Or this could be a person here, a King of Wands. This could be something that you see like an advert, or you see something on media, or because this is media, PR, advertisement. It might be an advertisement. It might be something you see on the TV. It could be a person that you see on the TV. It might be somebody you've seen who said, you know, I've made a breakthrough. I've made this change. I've made a, I've started this career. I run my own business now. I'm really successful, and you can do it too, and that type of thing. Especially if the Emperor being you, being the energy around you over the next 2 weeks is all about you trying to re-establish some order within your life, and perhaps the unexpected thing that arises. For example, I'll give you an example on how this could work. Say, for example, you're the Emperor here, and the next 2 weeks is all about you kind of laying some new ground rules for yourself with that Emperor energy. You're trying to build this new structure with the Emperor. You're trying to take charge of your life with the Emperor energy. Okay, you're trying to put yourself front and first. You're trying to, with the Emperor energy, establish some form of, you know, stability within your life, that type of thing. And you decide, you say, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to be a leader now, if I'm really going to take charge of myself, if I'm going to really assert myself as the Emperor, you know what I'm going to do? And this is where the unexpected thing comes in, Aries. For example, you might say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave my job. Tower, you know, bam, unexpected. Oh, okay, right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to leave my job. You probably wouldn't do it until you had something, you know, backed up. But say you did that. Just giving you an example of how the reading could work. So you say, I'm going to leave my job. That's what I'm going to do. That's just something that you do. Because what possibly could have happened, just to give you a hypothetical version of how this reading could work, you want to get yourself ahead with the Emperor energy, and you know to do that you've got to make some really solid decisions, and you've got to kind of take the bull by the horns, though it's not a Taurus card. But you've got to be a leader. You've got to show leadership. You've got to show assertiveness. You've got to show fearlessness with the Emperor energy. You've got to show control. You've got to show that you're in charge. All right. You want to be a ruler. You want to rule your own thing. You want to do your own thing. You want to be your own boss. You want to do all of that stuff. But you have to be assertive to do it. So you say, you know what? I'm going to leave my job. Now, before, you probably wouldn't have said that, Aries. For some of you guys, before, this is something you'd have never thought about. That's why it's unexpected. See, I'm going to leave my job. Now, in order to stay grounded, you say, however, if I leave my job, will I be okay? You know what? I've just got to have faith. I've got to have faith that that I'm on the right track. I know that I'm being guided to do this, so I've got to have faith. However, the important emotion that you feel, Aries, is, oh man, I'm really worried and I'm frustrated. But that emotion, that important emotion of fear and anxiety and frustration comes because you have been very reluctant with the Two of Wands energy to take charge. So that area here probably coincides with the Emperor, where the next 2 weeks is about you taking charge of your life with the Emperor energy and taking back your control. But the important emotion that you need to feel in order to do that is the frustration of where you are with the Five of Wands. So some of you guys feeling frustrated, oh man, I haven't taken any charge with the Two of Wands. You know, I've not made any decisions. I don't know where I'm going. I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid to make a move. I'm stagnating. Two of Wands in a reverse. You know what? I've just got to get some guidance, or I've just got to be honest with myself and open up to the reason why I'm doing this. I've got to face the truth, you know, that type of thing. Then you say, you know, something that will inspire you. Well, you may then see on the TV an advert You can run your own business too. You know, I'm making 6 figures a year from this online business, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Oh man, I could do that. That's the way that I could do it. That's the way that I could take ownership of my own life. Instead of working for others, I could do it through this. That's what I'm talking about. So you could be inspired by something media related, but you could also be inspired by somebody who's close to you, a husband, for example, with the King of Wands, or even a wife. We don't discriminate with the kings and the queens. They can be male or female. But this is somebody who is confident, and this is also somebody who is charismatic, but also the person that inspires you with this King of Wands energy is somebody who is extraordinarily talented. This is the type of person who takes inspired action. This is the type of person who's taken action when they've felt that they've been aligned to do so and they've been successful with it. And I think that somebody around you who's very successful in life, who's taken certain decisions and who's made certain moves, and they've been successful because they've taken those decisions and they've made those moves with confidence rather than fear, as it were. So there's somebody around you probably with those qualities that I think may inspire you in the next 2 weeks. What is your spirit guide advising you of in the next couple of weeks? The 5 of Coins. So the advice from your spirit guides is the 5 of Coins, to ask for help if you need it. Because that's how I would explain that card. 5 of Coins is about poverty, but really the poverty of the 5 of Coins is anything. You know, it can be financial poverty, it can be emotional poverty, it can be mental poverty, it can be creative poverty. It's lack, creative lack. I've got no creativity at the moment, or I've got no money at the moment, or I've got no friends at the moment, I've got no love at the moment. It's about just poverty. Poverty experienced in the real world. So you're lacking something, you're lacking some form of a resource here, because Pentacles are resources, and with the 5 of Pentacles being the lack card, we're looking at a lack of resources. So and those resources can be anything, you know. We need, love is a resource because it helps us to connect with others. You know, money is a resource because it helps us to pay the bills, pay the rent, pay the mortgage, put food on the table, clothes on the back. Or it can just help you with the most basic of things. You know, human connection, families are a resource because they help us to, you know, stay connected with each other and not feel alone, but to be a part of a bigger clan, as it were. So everything that we experience in life is a resource. It's a resource basically for me is something that is useful to our existence, that helps us to kind of exist and to move forward in life. So you may be lacking a resource somewhere along the line, but you know, the advice from Spirit is to ask and you shall receive. Yeah. So, you know, if you're lacking something in your life, Aries, don't be afraid to ask for it, to ask for support. Some of you guys turn to God for it, you know, turn to God for it, because there's the church. They're outside of the church, and the church is the home of God. So, you know, and you've got this Hierophant energy here, where to stay grounded, you know, some of you guys got to have faith, but staying grounded and balanced may involve somebody who's spiritual, a spiritual leader, a spiritual counselor, somebody who can counsel you maybe within your church, or if you do go to church, or within your religion, whether it's, you know, Islam or Sikhism or Hinduism or Christianity or Judaism, whatever it is. Maybe there's a really important spiritual leader here that you could speak to as well. So don't be afraid, whoever the person is, doesn't matter who it is, but whoever it is, don't be afraid to ask for support from this person, especially if you're lacking some form of a resource. It doesn't have to be money, by the way, as I've said. And finally, how can you best support yourself over the next couple of weeks? Another king. King of Pentacles. I just feel that, you know, you got a couple of kings showing here. All right, so you really need, I think that looking at the reading, because we've got a couple of kings, I think it's important to get advice and to get information and also guidance. It's important to have people around you who can give you as much knowledge and information as you possibly can get. Okay, because how you best support yourself this week, over the next couple of weeks, is through a King of Coins energy. Some of you guys, it might be the bank manager with the King of Coins, you know, especially if you want to establish something for yourself. It could be a business. Maybe you want to talk to your bank manager about that. You know, how can you, what spirit guide, what are your spirit guides advising you to do? Well, get some support, especially if you're lacking a resource. It might be a financial resource. You may not have enough money to start whatever the Emperor energy is. And maybe the best way you can support yourself is by getting some financial support with the King of Coins energy showing here. You know, I just feel the best thing, whatever the case is for you, the best thing to do is to get advice and support. You know, get the knowledge, get the lowdown, get the information. You have people around you who have knowledge, because you've got kings. Kings have knowledge and they have wisdom. Okay, so you need to tap into other people's wisdom and knowledge, people who have the expertise, people who have the skill that will, and you know, help you along your path. You need to tap into people who have skill and expertise and knowledge, okay, in order to move to whatever this next phase is. Let's have a quick look at what the advice is for you, spiritual advice for the next couple of weeks, Aries. Universe, Spirit, what is the spiritual advice you have for Aries on this reading in the next couple of weeks? What's the spiritual advice in 2 cards, please? So your spiritual advice is the Strength card, Control, okay, and the Opportunity beckons. Okay, so I think, you know, with the Strength card, it's about overcoming fears for me. You know, this particular deck, it's basically, as I've mentioned, it's the Psychic Tower of the Heart. And what they do is they've taken, there's only, I think, 60-something cards on this. I think it's a 60-something card deck. No, 65 cards, yeah. Right, this one. But he's taken, you know, from the tarot, being the card that he's taken from, the ones with the black borders are the major arcanas, and this represents strength. And for me, the Strength card is all about overcoming our fears. Okay, overcoming fears. And this is the 4 of Cups, funnily enough. Opportunity. See, they're turning things around in a really positive light. But I feel that if you can just see your own strength, because can you see how the eyes are behind her? It's almost like she doesn't see. Can you see this woman here looking down? But the eyes behind her can see what's going on inside of her. So I just feel that the advice from Spirit is, Aries, if you could just see your own strength, opportunities would probably just start opening up for you. Okay, opportunities will start opening up for you. I think that you've just got to see your own strength. And I think that the place that this shows in the most would be this area here, where we're looking at the important emotion that you need to feel this week, in the next couple of weeks, which is anger and frustration and just rage in a way. Because this is about you raging at your inability to move forward with the 2 of Wands energy showing there. Okay, whether it's in a marriage or whether with the Hierophant energy, you know, it's in terms of, you know, if your anger is to do with your inability to make decisions, move forward, take charge with the 2 of Wands energy, then it's time with the Hierophant energy to seek guidance and to seek, you know, to seek wisdom and to seek information and wise counsel here with the Hierophant energy showing here, okay? Also, your inability to move forward in faith, because the Hierophant is all about faith, and it's an important emotion that you feel, to be angry and to be annoyed and to be frustrated, but it's going to be with yourself, because with the 2 of Wands in the reverse, I do feel that some of you guys have been fearing taking charge and moving forward with faith, because you're lacking the faith, okay? So this is why I feel the universe is saying to you that in the spiritual advice that we're finishing off with, if only you could see your own strength, if only you could see your own strength, opportunities would just open up to you. Opportunities would just open up to you if only you could see your own potential here, because you have a lot of potential. And I feel that with the next 2 weeks being that you guys are wanting to establish with this Emperor energy a new structure within your life here, but something has to be thrown away in order for that to happen with the Tower. So something unexpected that may arise out of this need for control, out of this need for being in charge of your own life, of your own, you know, being in control of your own destiny as the Emperor is. There is something unexpected you may do. You may just decide, okay, something needs to go. If I'm going to take control of my life, then something in my life needs to go with the Tower, and I'm going to get rid of it here. But if you're going to stay grounded and balanced in the energy of the Tower, you need to have faith that whatever you're doing here, you believe is going to turn out for the best, okay? Because you need to feel the rage that you have been probably a little bit too afraid with the 2 of Wands in the reverse to move forward in faith, because you've lacked the faith. And therefore, something that may inspire you is somebody who you see who's actually taking the very steps that you're afraid of, and they've turned it to their advantage. They've actually ended up winning rather than losing. If you need something to, if you are, sorry, your spirit guides are saying to you, look, you know, you want to move forward but you're afraid, ask for help. ask for the resources that you feel that you lack. If the resource that you lack is confidence, then ask for the support. Ask for maybe people who have wisdom and information and intelligence with the kings in the reading. Ask for that particular type of support. What do you need from them? What is it that they can give you that can support you and give you the confidence to move forward on this track? If it's a money situation and it's about getting the money together to do something, don't be afraid to ask, because this is asking for financial support. And in order to support yourself this week, ask for the money. The King of Coins is the money, that's the money. So if it's a money thing, don't be afraid. If you don't ask, you don't get. You know, if you don't ask, you don't get. So you need to ask for financial support for some of you guys in order to move forward. But the ethos of the reading, as far as the universe is concerned, is if you want opportunities to open up to you, you have to start looking at what your strengths are, because you have plenty of strength, you have plenty of potential. If only you could see it, so much would open up to you. All right, that is your reading, my darlings, for the next 2 weeks. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you'd like your own private reading, click on the link in the comment section below or in the end screen. Have a great 2 weeks, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.